Hello and welcome back to our channel. Did you know that the total biomass of worms is greater in some areas than the biomass of all other animals living in the same area? If you think that's a fascinating fact, then wait until I reveal more hidden secrets about our fun little friends, the worms. Did you know that more than 6,000 different species of worms have been identified on Earth, and all continents, with the exception of Antarctica, have them? They vary significantly in size, appearance, and color. This involves everyone's favorite little garden dweller, the earthworm, as well as the depths of our oceans where we encounter an entirely different set of worms, the marine worms. And we can't really talk about worms without talking about tapeworms, hookworms, and everything else in between. So get ready, everybody, because we're going to talk about some of the facts that you might not know about worms. Number 10. Worms have been around for millions of years. These extraordinary worms, as a species, have lived for centuries. It's almost as if they've discovered the secret to immortality, even though they may not be truly immortal. But their long lifespan is mind-boggling. These resilient creatures have managed to survive and thrive throughout countless geological eras. Some of the oldest known worm species date back hundreds of millions of years and have left behind a rich fossil record that provides valuable insights into their evolutionary history. From simple marine worms that roamed the oceans during prehistoric times to modern-day earthworms that play a vital role in soil health, these remarkable creatures continue to amaze us with their resilience and adaptability. Number 9. Worms will become paralyzed if exposed to light for too long. Worms, like your average teenager, love to live in the dark and are really sensitive to light. See, they don't have eyes, but can detect light through their skin, which means naturally that they'll move away from light so that their skin stays moist. See, if worms are exposed to light for about an hour, they actually become paralyzed and unable to burrow back into the darkness. Number 8. Worms breathe through their skin and have no lungs. All living animals need oxygen. Worms can't breathe in through their mouth, and they don't have a nose either. See, instead of lungs, worms have a thin, permeable skin through which oxygen and the air actually passes. The mucus on a worm's skin helps to dissolve the oxygen. Therefore, the moisture level of the worm bin needs to be adequate. If a worm dries out, they suffocate. Likewise, if a worm's environment is too moist, they'll drown. Just imagine for a second being able to breathe through mucus. I guess that means hippos can breathe in space. Number 7. Certain types of parasitic worm infections affect millions worldwide. Though worms are small in size, their impact on human and animal health is anything but insignificant. From hookworms to roundworms, various common parasitic worm diseases can wreak havoc on both humans and animals, and they're not limited to any particular region or socioeconomic group, as they can be found in every corner of the globe. And even if you manage to crush them all, some worms actually have the magical ability to regenerate themselves, sometimes into brand new worms. Ugh. Hey, while you're still here, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button so that we can continue to grow and bring you fun content like this. Thank you. Number 6. Worms are hermaphrodites, both male and female. This is a fun one. Earthworms are hermaphrodites. This means that an individual worm has both male and female reproductive organs. Earthworm mating typically occurs after it's rained and the ground is wet. They emerge from the soil and jut out their anterior end. Then they wait for another earthworm to point in the opposite direction, and then they breed. The two worms join together and mucus is secreted so that each worm is encased in a tube of slime. That's not exactly how I would expect a fun Friday night to end, but to each their own. Number 5. Worms are older than the dinosaurs. The first dinosaur appeared around 351 million years ago in a time called the Mesozoic era. Earthworms predate all vertebrates in general and have been around for about 600 million years. Number 4. Worms are 90% water. Worms are also about 90% water. Now, a fun little comparison is us. Humans are about 75% water. Worms can live for about 1 year in the worm bin. If a worm dies in your bin, you probably won't even notice it. And that's because a worm's body is about 90% water, so it's just gonna shrivel up and become part of the compost pretty fast. Number 3. If worms eat too much protein, they can appear deformed. One of the most intriguing worm facts is the phenomenon of protein poisoning, also known as sauerkraut. See, if worms eat too much protein, they can struggle to digest it. When this happens, the food in the worm's intestines can start to ferment due to acidity. The buildup of gases can rupture the worm's intestines, causing irreparable damage. This can leave the worms deformed, looking like a string of pearls. In most cases, the situation can be avoided by not overfeeding your worms. Number 2. Worms have surprising social behaviors. Having developed various methods of communication to interact with their fellow worms through chemical signals, vibrations, and even touching each other's bodies, these tiny little creatures are able to convey important information and establish social connections within their communities. This allows them to coordinate activities such as feeding and mating, showcasing their surprisingly complex social dynamics. Additionally, some species of worms release pheromones into the soil to attract mates or warn others about potential threats. However, these chemical signals serve as a language that helps them navigate their environment and maintain social cohesion. These worms also have fascinating behaviors and adaptations too, knowing that some can even change their color depending on their surroundings, blending seamlessly into their environment like masters of disguise. However, aside from their social skills, worms are also a vital part of the ecosystem's food chain. And finally, number 1. Worms are cold-blooded and have 5 hearts. Because worms are cold-blooded, they can't regulate their temperature like mammals can. This means that their body temperature will be the same as their surroundings. Also, worms don't just have 1 heart, they have 5. These awesome little critters don't have multi-chambered hearts like mammals or reptiles do. Instead, they have 5 single-chambered aortic arches, function similar to a heart, which pump blood through their body. The 5 hearts are also close to the head of the worm. The world of worms is a fascinating and diverse one, filled with secrets and surprises that continually captivate our curiosity. From their ancient existence, dating back millions of years, to their remarkable adaptations like breathing through their skin and being both male and female, these resilient little critters have left an indelible mark on the natural world. So, whether it's their peculiar social behaviors, their vital role in the ecosystem's food chain, or the fact that they possess not 1, but 5 hearts, worms are truly extraordinary and awesome. Except for the parasites, they're just So if you've been intrigued by these remarkable revelations about worms, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to ensure that our channel continues to grow and share more intriguing insights with you. You can also catch some of our other super fun and amazing content by clicking on the links on your screen now. And, as always, my friends, thank you very much for choosing to spend your time with us today. We'll see you in our next video.